Ladies and gentlemen, today we gather not just to recognize brilliance, but to understand it. In a world racing toward progress, it is vital we pause and reflect on the deeper qualities that define a truly brilliant woman. Not just in intellect, but in character, spirit, and purpose. Brilliance in a woman is not confined to degrees, titles, or accolades. It is etched into the fabric of who she is. It glows not just from what she knows, but from how she lives. First, a brilliant woman is grounded in wisdom. Knowledge can be found in books. But wisdom, it comes from discernment, from experience, from a heart that seeks truth above popularity. She knows when to speak and, just as importantly, when to listen. Her decisions are not impulsive. They are intentional, rooted in values that do not sway with the trends of the time. Second, she carries herself with integrity. Her word is her bond. She is consistent, honest, and trustworthy. She understands that character is not something you wear like a coat. It's who you are when no one's watching. A brilliant woman stands firm in truth, even when it's not convenient. Knowledge is plentiful in today's world. It's in our pockets, at the tips of our fingers, in books, in search engines, and the thousands of voices we hear every day. But wisdom, that is something deeper. Wisdom is not about knowing everything. It's about understanding what truly matters. It's not just about having answers, but asking the right questions. And in the life of a brilliant woman, wisdom is the foundation upon which every other quality stands. A brilliant woman does not confuse intelligence with wisdom. Intelligence can get you degrees. It can help you solve problems, debate issues, or impress a crowd. But wisdom helps you navigate life. It teaches you when to speak and when silence is more powerful. It teaches you how to interpret the motives of people, how to discern between what is urgent and what is important. It is the compass that keeps you from getting lost in the noise of the world. A woman of wisdom doesn't chase every opportunity. She doesn't need to be involved in every conversation or be the loudest voice in the room. She knows that not every door is worth walking through, and not every invitation leads to purpose. Her decisions are not just based on what is profitable, but on what is right. She does not move with the crowd. She moves with conviction. That's the difference. Knowledge gives you options. Wisdom gives you direction. And wisdom is not something you're born with. It's something you grow into. It is formed in quiet moments of reflection, in failures that humbled you, in victories that didn't inflate your ego, but deepened your gratitude. A brilliant woman learns to take her experiences and distill them into lessons. She doesn't just go through life, she grows through life. Every mistake becomes a teacher. Every setback, a tool. She does not let pride blind her. She seeks counsel, she asks questions, and she listens more than she speaks. There's something remarkable about a woman who walks in wisdom. She doesn't need to prove herself. She doesn't need to advertise her brilliance. People are drawn to her because there is a peace about her, a steadiness. She doesn't panic under pressure. She doesn't collapse under criticism. Her confidence isn't loud, it's rooted. She knows who she is, and she knows what she stands for. You see, wisdom isn't just about knowing what to do. It's about knowing when and how to do it. A woman might know the truth, but wisdom teaches her how to speak that truth with grace. You might see a problem, but wisdom shows her the path to the solution that builds rather than breaks. Knowledge can be sharp, even cold, but wisdom carries compassion. It understands timing, tone, and temperament. It recognizes that being right is not always enough. How you handle being right matters just as much. A brilliant woman seeks wisdom in every season of her life. As a daughter, a friend, a leader, a mother, a professional, she seeks wisdom not to elevate herself, but to serve better. She knows that people will look to her, lean on her, and learn from her. And so she guards her mind, she feeds her soul, and she surrounds herself with voices that challenge and sharpen her. She doesn't just ask, "What should I do?" She asks, "What is the wise thing to do?" And when the world tries to rush her, wisdom slows her down. When the world says she's falling behind, wisdom reminds her that divine timing is not rushed. When the world applauds her for superficial things, wisdom draws her attention back to things that last: character, integrity, love, faith, and truth. In every season, wisdom leads her to prioritize what the world often overlooks. It's what helps her say no to what's popular and yes to what's purposeful. It's what helps her raise her children not just for success, but for strength. It's what helps her lead with humility, love deeply, and live fully. Wisdom may not always make her the most famous, but it will always make her the most impactful. In the end, brilliance without wisdom is like a ship without a rudder. It might be fast, but it's directionless. A woman of wisdom is not swayed by trends, nor is she shaken by storms. She's anchored. She's thoughtful. She is not just a mind full of facts. She is a soul full of light. And that light, it's what the world needs most. Integrity is the silent strength behind every truly brilliant woman. It does not call attention to itself. It does not ask for applause. It does not seek the spotlight. Yet it is the one quality that sustains her when the lights go out, when no one is watching, and when decisions must be made in the stillness of conscience. A woman of integrity is the same in public as she is in private. Her values are not situational. They are anchored. Her promises are not seasonal. They are sacred. She understands that real brilliance is not just about what people see in her, but about what she chooses when no one is looking. A brilliant woman with integrity is consistent. Her words match her actions. She doesn't say one thing and live another. She doesn't change her convictions based on convenience. Her yes means yes and her no means no. When she speaks, people listen, not because she demands their attention, but because she has earned their trust. And trust is her currency, and she protects it with everything she has. She doesn't cut corners even when it would be easier. She doesn't manipulate even if it would benefit her. She knows that temporary gain at the cost of permanent character is never worth the price. Her integrity is not just tested in major life decisions. It is revealed in the smallest details. How she treats the waiter. How she speaks about others when they're not in the room. How she handles disappointment. How she admits when she's wrong. Integrity is not about perfection. It's about honesty. A brilliant woman with integrity doesn't pretend to be flawless. She owns her mistakes. She learns. She apologizes when necessary. She corrects course when needed. And because of that, her character shines brighter than any achievement on her resume. In a world that often rewards image over substance, a woman of integrity refuses to compromise who she is just to gain approval. She doesn't bend her values to fit in. She stands firm, even when she stands alone. She understands that popularity is fleeting, but character is enduring. She doesn't play games. She doesn't wear masks. She doesn't change who she is depending on the audience. She is real, she is grounded, and she is unwavering. That kind of strength is not loud, but it is unmistakable. Integrity shapes every relationship in her life. In her friendships, she is loyal and genuine. In her workplace, she is dependable and fair. In leadership, she does not exploit her position. She stewards it. She does not demand respect. She earns it. People trust her not just because of what she says, but because of how she lives. Her influence is not built on charisma, but on credibility. And when storms come, and they always do, she stands strong because her foundation is not made of shifting sand, but solid rock. Her integrity even governs how she handles power and success. She does not allow achievement to inflate her ego. She doesn't look down on others. She remembers where she came from. She doesn't use her platform to serve herself, but to lift others. When she wins with grace. When she fails with dignity. Her identity is not tied to status, but to substance. She lives in such a way that if everything she had was stripped away, her character would still remain intact. And even when it costs her, when telling the truth is hard, when doing the right thing is unpopular, when taking the high road is lonely, she chooses integrity anyway, because she knows that peace of mind is more valuable than public approval. That respect that comes from living honorably is worth more than any amount of recognition. She doesn't look for shortcuts. She believes in the long road, the honest road, even if it's harder. Because she knows that what she builds with integrity will last, and what she gains without it will eventually crumble. In every season of life, whether she is rising in her career, raising a family, walking through pain, or celebrating joy, her integrity is her guide. It doesn't fluctuate with her emotions. It doesn't bow to pressure. It is steady, rooted in who she is at the core. And those around her may not always agree with her, but they respect her. Because they know she cannot be bought, cannot be swayed, and cannot be broken by the temptations that so easily corrupt others. Her brilliance is not only in her mind, it's in her unwavering commitment to truth, honesty, and honor. And that is what makes her unforgettable. Resilience is the quiet force that makes a brilliant woman unstoppable. It's not found in her ability to avoid struggle, but in how she handles it. Life does not spare her the weight of disappointment, the sting of failure, or the ache of loss, but she does not crumble under pressure. She does not allow setbacks to define her or suffering to silence her. She endures, she adapts, and she rises again and again. Her brilliance is not only in what she knows or achieves, but in how she walks through adversity with dignity and strength that cannot be taught in any classroom. A brilliant woman understands that pain is a part of the process. She does not romanticize hardship, but neither does she run from it. She faces it head on, knowing that the fire she walks through is refining her, not destroying her. When life knocks the wind out of her, she does not pretend it didn't hurt. She feels it fully. She weeps, she wrestles, she questions, but she never quits. Resilience is not about suppressing emotion. It's about pushing forward with purpose, even when the heart is heavy. It's about standing back up, even when her knees still shake from the fall. She has learned that resilience is built over time. It is not a trait she was born with. It is one she has chosen again and again in moments of difficulty. When doors have closed in her face, she has found windows. When people have doubted her, she has pressed on without needing their validation. When dreams have been delayed, she has not given up. She has adjusted, grown, and kept moving forward. Each scar she carries is not a sign of weakness, but of survival. Oh, every obstacle she has faced has become a stone she stands on today. Her strength is not loud or showy. It's not about pretending she has everything together. In fact, her resilience often shows most in her vulnerability. She is not afraid to admit when she is tired, when she is unsure, or when she needs help. But she never lets those moments stop her. She allows herself to bend, but not break. She is flexible, yet firm. She learns the rhythm of retreating when needed and returning when ready. She knows there is wisdom in rest, but power in persistence. A brilliant woman knows that storms don't last forever, but neither does the calm. So she prepares for both. She does not build her life on temporary comforts or easy victories. She builds it on values that cannot be shaken. And when the storm comes, be it betrayal, illness, financial hardship, or personal loss, she does not fall apart. She feels the weight of it, but she remembers who she is. She remembers what she has come through. She remembers that her story has chapters still unwritten, and she keeps going. She draws strength not just from within herself, but from her faith, her principles, her purpose. She surrounds herself with people who lift her, not drain her. She asks the hard questions, but she never lets them rob her of hope. Even in seasons of silence, where answers seem far away and progress feels invisible, she keeps walking. Her resilience is a quiet rebellion against despair. It is her refusal to settle for less than the life she knows she is meant to live. What makes her resilient is not that life is easier for her, but that she has decided not to be a victim of it. She refuses to let circumstances steal her joy, her vision, or her identity. She redefines what winning looks like. Sometimes winning is just getting out of bed when everything in her wants to hide. Sometimes it's choosing forgiveness over bitterness. Sometimes it's smiling when the weight is unbearable. She measures success not by perfection, but by persistence. Others may look at her life and only see the surface. They may see her achievements, her smile, her calm presence, and never realize the battle she's fought to get there. But she knows. She knows the nights she cried, the prayers she whispered, the fears she faced. And that knowledge becomes her fuel. Her resilience isn't for show, it's survival. And from that survival has come strength that can't be shaken. She is brilliant, not just because of what she has accomplished, but because of what she has overcome. Not just because of how far she has gone, but because of what she has endured along the way. Her resilience is not a headline. It is a quiet testimony written in her heart, lived out day by day, moment by moment. It is what makes her unstoppable.